As we move into the new year and producers are preparing for calving or lambing, they're also creating their budgets for 2024. Now, drafting a budget is no easy task, but part of it should always include a line item for pasture and rangeland management.
Cattle economics are looking good. It's a good time to be selling, but in that same breath, the input costs are not going down either. And so we know that our rangeland, our grass production is our lowest cost feed source. So if we can increase those grazing days and increase our stocking rates per acre, that's the best we're going to get out of our cattle production and our forage production.
As ranchers work to improve their pastures, Corteva, along with local and state weed districts, are an essential tool in a producer's management plan.
So we know in the West, we have a lot of invasive noxious weeds that are regulated by the counties or by the state. And so, that's part of the role as being a steward, cattle producer or steward of the land is making sure we're managing those noxious weeds. And so, yeah, working with your county noxious weed supervisor, seeing, what the weeds they are going after. And we've got High Noon, which is a new herbicide that can be used in multiple different ways and use sites. And that's going to be a key when we work with our noxious weed supervisors.
Koenig shared tips on what ranchers can be looking for when creating a management plan for their pastures during and after drought.
I think it was a big learning curve this year for a lot of ranchers. We were coming off of a prolonged drought, so they kind of assumed, oh, the weeds aren't going to do anything. It's been dry, but it takes such a minute amount of moisture to take off with weeds. And so if we constantly scout our pastures, especially those areas where we have a lot of high traffic with cattle, that's where we're going to see the most weed pressure coming from. And so by scouting, what we see a lot above ground mimics what we see below ground. And so if we keep a good grass canopy, we could use all the residual in the world, but the best competition would be good competition. So we need good native grasses, our forbs. And so if we use herbicides to eliminate those weeds, we know that for every pound of weeds we remove, we can get 1.5 pounds of grass. And grass equals pounds of beef.
Corteva also has multiple online tools like their weed guide to help producers identify and manage their pasture and rangelands. For more of the opportunities that Corteva provides producers, just visit them online.